Hi everybody. This video is to walk you guys through your course calendar and your syllabus for fall 2019. And I'm going to kind of go through this as fast as I possibly can. Just know that there is a syllabus quiz, so you're going to want to be able to open and save this or be able to access this if you need this. It is in the syllabus tab in the top left corner, and you'll see it there throughout the rest of the semester. So. My name is Brittany Estes. If you need me, my email is brittany.estes@my.tccd.edu. This is a 3-hour course online. It runs from August 18th to December 11th. You guys are basically going to be looking at the foundational texts of American literature. So we're going to look at everything from early explorers all the way up through basically Civil War. And we'll be looking at not only the canonical text, but we'll be looking at a lot of the marginalized voices as well. So we'll be reading Native American literature, Hispanic literature, all kinds of different voices, female poetry, things like that, that you may not traditionally read within the canon. You guys can read the course goals and the learning outcomes for yourself, but the course materials, you're going to make sure that you obviously have access to Blackboard and know how to use it. If you need a brief explanation, there is a Blackboard 101 video that's also under in the syllabus tab, and it'll explain to you how to use Blackboard for this course. You're going to need to be able make sure that you have the right software. So really, you need to be able to enable Flash. So if you are on an iPad or your phone, you may not necessarily be able to see all of the material. So you're going to make sure that you have Flash enabled wherever you are. And then make sure that you do have Microsoft Word. That is required for the course. Your essays must be turned in through Word. They can't be pages or text files or PDFs, simply because they don't render on screen, so I can't add comments to them. So if you don't have Word, make sure you go out and get it. It is free online. Just make sure you download Word. And if you have not gotten the textbook yet, the textbook is the Norton Anthology of American Literature, Beginnings to 1865, Volumes A and B. I have the 8th edition. I believe it's the 9th edition that's out right now. So you're welcome to get whatever edition you like. Just know that if you get a different edition than mine, it will probably have different page numbers, and 1 or 2 of the texts may not be in there. So you'll just have to pause the lectures to go find the right page numbers for different texts, but if any of them are missing, you can generally pretty easily Google them as well. So obviously Blackboard is important. This class is semi-self-paced, so you will basically have access to entire units as you work. So you can work ahead if need be. There are 4 major units in the course. Early settlers, Enlightenment, Romanticism, and then Transcendentalism. And you guys can kind of see the breakdown of the grading policy. It's 10% for the first essay, 20 for the second, 20 for the third, and 15 for the fourth. That makes up 65% of your grade. The other 35% comes from quizzes, which are 10%, writing assignments, which are 10%, blogs and discussion boards are 5%, and attendance or participation is 5%. You guys can see the grading scale here. If there is a case of an incomplete, it's generally a pretty rare case. It's something that's usually a very extreme circumstance. In that case, you'll work with the professor, with me, to figure out an appropriate date to turn in your work, and that's generally at some point through the beginning of the next year. Essay formats and submission. Essentially know that everything is due on a weekly basis, and I'll explain this a little bit more in a minute, but everything is due on a weekly basis by 11:59 p.m. Or midnight, if you like, on Sunday, the night before, Sunday of the assigned week. So, for example, each week we'll have a designation that's Monday through Friday that will help define the work week, and then I'll clearly state below that all assignments are due on that Sunday, November 12th, or whatever it might be. So, for example, if week 3, let's say, was November 6th through 10th, that's Monday through Friday, November 6th through 10th. And then all of your assignments are due on Sunday, November 12th. Being MLA, everything is due in MLA format. So that's 1-inch margins, double space, Times New Roman Arial, or Cambria font. Everything double spaced with a header and a bibliography. Everything is checked for plagiarism through Safe Assigned, so make sure that you guys have access to the plagiarism reports so you can see everything that I see. So just make sure that you are using citations correctly, make sure that you are not plagiarizing from the internet or a previous paper, even from this course or another course. For that reason, late work is not accepted. You guys are able to work ahead if need be, so you know your schedule. If you're going on vacation or doing some holiday travel, you want to make sure that you can get your work done ahead of time. So for that reason, again, late work is not accepted. Grades can be tracked through the gradebook tool throughout the semester. I'll keep that really up to date so you guys can always know where you're standing as the course progresses. It is a weighted course, so it's not necessarily by points, but it's by weighted percentages. So you guys can always see what that overall weighted score is as we go through the class. TCC does have an attendance policy in place, even though it is an online class. So essentially, if you miss 15% of the course instruction, the instructor has the right to drop you from the course. So make sure that you're just logging in, doing your assignments, communicating with me, and you should be good on the attendance portion and the participation portion. If you need the withdrawal policy, that information is right here. And I already kind of explained about participation. So the important class dates for you guys, classes begin August 19th. Final add-drop day is November 7th. Thanksgiving holiday is November 28th. And the final day of class is December 11th. Academic dishonesty, so essentially it's very simple. Please don't plagiarize. If you plagiarize, there's a number of things that can happen. You guys can get a failing grade on the assignment. You can fail the course. You can be expelled from any extracurriculars or other things you're involved in, and you can actually be kicked out of the college as well. So it's really, really, really not worth it for a 3-page paper. And I do check everything, and plagiarism, Safe Assigned does catch everything. So just please don't plagiarize. It's not worth it. And that's pretty much it. For me, if you email me, I'll try to respond within 24 hours. All assignments will be returned to you within 2 weeks of the due date. That's for your major assignments. Smaller assignments are generally a lot quicker. If you need online office hours, I can do that through the instant message function in Blackboard, but it's by request of the student. They don't hold online office hours otherwise. Student support services, if you need that, all that information is right here. If you have a disability request or a support service needed, you do need to go through the office and make sure that the proper paperwork is orchestrated. That needs to be emailed to me. I'll have to sign it. You'll have to sign it. They'll have to sign it. So if there is a situation like that, please make sure to go through them, and we'll make sure to get the proper accommodations in line. And last but not least, technical requirements. Make sure you have good internet. Make sure you have the plugins, like I said, Flash when needed. You're probably going to need Adobe Reader. And make sure, again, that you have Microsoft Office. Make sure you have Microsoft Word specifically. As I said, essays need to be turned in through Word, and they cannot be turned in through any other type of file. Make sure also that you have access to your TCC email account, because that is how I will communicate with you if need be. So for all technical issues, there is a 24/7 help desk. That's the number right there. It's extremely helpful. They're wonderful. If you have a technical issue, make sure you call them first. Secondarily, send me a screenshot of the issue at the time of the issue, and I might be able to help you. Having done this for many, many years, I might be able to have a workaround, but definitely make sure that you reach out to them first. All right, so we're going to walk through the course calendar for you guys next. So this calendar is basically a quick outline of all the readings for each week, or the authors for each week. Each week I will clearly outline the text for you. There's going to be an explanation for you in the week 1 material that explains how each week's assignments are kind of laid out for you. But essentially, as it stands, Early Encounters is our first unit, and that will take us from Columbus and Cabeza de Vaca all the way up through, say, Anne Bradstreet. And in that text, we'll look at a couple different views of what it means to be an early settler and an early citizen of what will be the United States. So we will have your first essay due on Sunday, September 15th. Then we'll move into the Enlightenment movement, which is the Revolutionary War era. We'll look at John Edwards. We'll look at some of the founding fathers like Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson. We'll also look at a number of marginalized voices. So we'll have a female poetry selection. We'll look at Phyllis Wheatley. And that second essay will be due on Sunday, October 6th. Your third unit will be in Romanticism. So we'll be looking at like Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Poe, Melville, and Hawthorne. And that third essay will be due on Sunday, November 3rd. And then your last unit will take us from it'll be Transcendentalism, and it'll take us from weeks 12 all the way up through the end. So we'll be looking at Emerson, Thoreau, Whitman Dickinson, and Frederick Douglass. You guys will get your assignment sheet the week before Thanksgiving, and then you guys will not have any work during Thanksgiving. And when you get back, you'll have your last essay due on Sunday, December 8th. And then during finals week, we'll actually have an extra credit opportunity available for you guys. So if you guys have any questions about this, let me know. Otherwise, you're going to go ahead and move on and do your syllabus quiz.